Faint lights in the distance, the thin line that separates your shadows from my soul. As these walls begin to fold, head lost in the silence, cold stars illuminate the secrets on your tongue and the poison in my lungs. Every passage ends, a new road begins. The further I descend, your labyrinth.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome on back to Talent League EU Season 5. I am Cherish, and joined with me today for our fantastic match we've got lined up is Liero. So before we jump into everything going on with tonight's game, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Cherish?
I am forgetting my notes right now, but I am doing pretty fine, and I'm excited to get to cast a Talent League game with someone not named Adrian, because he's really liked to keep like a monopoly on everyone.
Honestly, same, man. I just feel the same. Like I can't express in words how much I feel the same right now.
So, as I was saying though, we got a great one coming on up tonight. It will be Ruhrsports and Noetic joining or facing off right now, and this is looking like it's probably going to be what should be a clash of the top teams right now in Talent League this season.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the standings, maybe not the top teams right now, but definitely we're expecting a lot from Roar. They only played one game, so we don't exactly know where they belong in the standings compared to the other teams, right? But we're definitely expecting this match to be really good and really close. So hopefully, hopefully it will be.
Yeah. Like you were saying, it is Ruhr is sitting at 1-0, or rather 1-0-0. Noetic is at 3-0-0. So we know Noetic is very strong at the moment. They've been handling their maps pretty solidly and pretty comfortably for the most part.
And the only team with 3 wins, by the way.
Yes, they are the only ones left undefeated. Well, um, Ruhr doesn't have a loss, but they've only played obviously the one game. So far,
That's
Noetic
why
is
we can't compare. Yeah,
yeah,
that's why it's hard to
but
compare. But
no, at the max of the 3 games played, they are the only undefeated one, which is nice.
yeah,
But to be fair, Noetic does have 2 overtime wins, one on Villa and one on Cafe, both 8-6. And Ruhr did beat the second place team currently, Wolves Esports, who are 2-1, or 2 wins, 1 loss. They did double 7-5, so that's why, for the most part, we're expecting this to be a very solid game because Ruhr beat the second best team right now, statistic
and
or
they only
by
played
the
one
by the
game.
standings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be good. And I'm looking forward to it, even if we don't have the most exciting maps that we will be getting to see here.
I could disagree on that one just because I like Cafe so much.
Mm-hmm.
From as a player, as a caster, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Oregon can get a little bit stale. But I mean, it's one of those maps that every team plays. So usually the better team is gonna win the Oregon map. And then I guess on Cafe, it's a little bit more up to adaptions and stuff like that. But on Oregon, it's just pretty straightforward. Most teams know what's gonna happen. They're just gonna be up to who's gonna execute what they already know better, right?
Yeah. So that being said, I forget which one we will be going to first.
Um,
If
in terms
Yele,
of like the player statistics, if we're gonna if we're gonna look at the player statistics for Roar, for it's of course for only the first match that they played and the only match that they played,
Mhm.
but still really good player statistics here overall. We even see the support players kind of chipping in and helping a lot, to be honest. Matrix and Heyman doing great there with some great costs from Heyman overall. Good entry, especially from your Thermite smoke player, right? That's not what you're expecting from him, and when his entry is that good, then I mean it's looking a bit better, that much better for his team. Um, and then if we go and look towards towards Pinto. Pinto is it? I mean, he's not doing as great in terms of the entry, and he played mostly Ashen Jaeger. But I mean, if the rest of the players are doing that good, I guess he doesn't need to. Maybe today he will need to wake up and do a little bit more for his team.
Yep. And on the other side of things, for Noetic, there kind of is a similar story. Your players of Keto and Clutcher, obviously they don't have the best KDs being on more support picks, but they don't need to be when you have a player like Skies and Naquo. Naquo isn't as hot this season as he was in previous seasons that I've seen him, but his entry stats have been fantastic. He's creating a lot of space for Noetic so far. He's 10-4, which is outstanding. And while Skies' entry stats aren't really equal at 6 and 8, obviously you can see on the KD 73 kills through 3 games.
That's
That
nuts.
is, yeah, he's been
That's insane.
really insane. He's putting up
Keep in mind they
easily,
are playing 2 maps every play day, but
yeah.
still.
Still, though, I mean, he's almost pushing 2 kills around. Skies has been fantastic on this second entry position, and to have the backup of Cracks as well. I believe he's been one of the. I think actually Skies is the newest addition to Noetic, if I can remember correctly. Maybe Crack. Oh no, Crack is yeah. So, but still, uh, he's he's fell in well with this team. He's been performing very well, clearly by his stats, and they just look so comfortable, and they haven't lost a step since their previous season. So it'll be definitely a hard position for Ruhrsports here today. They'll be having to definitely stop Skies getting very aggressive on this second entry after Naquo finds his way into the building. We'll definitely have to see how things go here for them on Oregon as we will be getting there first. So hopefully, like you said, it's probably just going to be whoever ends up being the better team on this map. But I'm just not totally looking forward to it because this map can be very boring.
Yeah, it could be, but I mean, right before we move towards Oregon, it is a bit stale. But our community votes, we need to talk about those for a second there. Roar is not looking too good in those, right? 19% compared to 76. I mean, it's not looking too good for them, but we already talked about this many times on the stream before. I always say that the community vote is usually that's all it is. It's just a vote and doesn't mean much. It doesn't take into account the maps played and what the teams really have to offer. Right? It's just a kind of a contest of who knows who a little bit more, right?
Yeah, it definitely is, and obviously being as strong as they have been in the past seasons, Noetic is just going to have that bigger name. And given that Ruhr did get dropped out of last season, obviously, you know, being a top playoff team, Noetic is just going to be more popular. Plus, they've played more games, obviously, so their name's more out there. And so it's just I don't really I like seeing community votes to see who everyone thinks is going to win, but I still think this is going to be very easily. I think it could be a draw coming out from these two teams.
I like community votes just because I want to see the community being wrong.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I
yeah,
like community votes.
I do like seeing that. I like getting to prove people wrong. I'm personally going to go with the remaining 5% here. I'm going to jump into it being a tie between these two teams. Noetic hasn't shown to be as strong on Cafe in previous matchups against other teams. So I'm hoping that Ruhr can bring it to them there at least. But first, we'll be heading on into Oregon very soon. Hopefully, if Yele can send us there at some point. As we'll, yeah, all right, we will be jumping in now. And when it comes to pick ban here, or rather the ban phase, I'm fully expecting just the normal, like nothing surprising.
Thatcher.
It's just gonna be, yeah, Thatcher
We're
Havana or
expecting
Thatcher
Thatcher, guys.
Maverick. Like,
We're expecting Thatcher, and we're probably expecting Amira, maybe. I
yeah,
mean, we're just your standard bans. Nothing usually crazy happens on Oregon in terms of how deep into the strat book teams tap in. Just because there's no strat book really, they just copy everything from EUL, and EUL just does the same things
yeah,
over and over again, right? So
yeah. Oh,
there's usually no variety. So there we go. This is the Thatcher ban.
ooh.
I mean, that's understandable, right? Just because Yana is just so prevalent right now in the meta. She kind of replaced Ash a little bit. I mean, actually, she really replaced
Yes,
Ash.
she really did.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really make a difference though, because I don't really see, especially in T3, right? Or T4, whatever it is, I don't really see teams utilize the Yana clone that well, even in a T1 level, to be honest. It's usually not on the right player, in my personal opinion, in terms of like how much you can utilize the Yana. So you probably want to put it on one of your least aggressive players so you can actually utilize the Yana gadget like 2 or 3 times throughout the round. And usually it doesn't happen that much. I mean, some teams utilize it well, some others don't. And I don't think it's just gonna make a difference. Just another Ash, right? It's off the board
Mhm.
right now, and they're gonna replace it with Ash.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting that they opt into the Yana ban when Flores is up. And since his induction, he's been making waves on a lot of these very strat heavy maps, very shield heavy maps, because he has just so many. Okay. Well, we've got a DC, so
Come
we'll
on,
get a
guys.
pause
We
on
didn't even start yet.
round one. Yeah. Well,
Let us start a
nice.
game.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Flores
I
has
mean,
seen
as we
a
were
lot of
saying,
use. Yeah, it's
it's
just
just
like
because
I don't
he
know.
has so much utility.
Yeah, Ash losing that charge was huge. She has no self burn, and Yana has nades, which are a lot more freely used than Ash charges. She has the clone as well for additional information. She has the Gone, which is very strong as well, even if it is just the one charge. I mean, Flores has 4 drones plus burn. Ash has 2 charges and no burn, and she's in. I definitely think she's in competitively the weakest state she's been in a very long time.
Definitely. I mean, she's losing out in the arms race, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have enough. She's not bringing enough, not as much as the others are bringing, just in terms of quantity of utility, right? So you can't get rid of as much. I mean, maybe Argana's a little bit better, arguable as well, and of course she's a 3 speed, and just so many players like to play Ash. But I mean, when she just I mean that recall nerf as well. By the way, that's also actually a valid point to why she's not played as much. And we already see the Ash being 6 pick to floors. So as I said, like Diana is not gonna make a huge impact here. I think the floors and Zofia combination is definitely gonna be enough, especially paired with that sledge, right?
Yeah, and I mean, so you still have the nades now that you have to bring Sledge, who's not going to see the most use on this site. There's 0 verticality on the basement. Um, but yeah, like we were saying, and especially I like the way you worded it, that Ash is losing out in the arms race right now, and it's mostly due to indirectly to the induction of Aruni, but specifically due to Flores as well. As a lot of teams started to realize that Ayana is a great counter pick to Aruni, just because you get that free burn through the Aruni gates with the clone, and it's, you know, always going to be there. It's constantly replenishable. So being
Yeah,
always present, Iana is very strong, and it's nice to see that she's seen more play, as already it's a fast play coming in from Ruhr here.
oh,
Whoa!
what a shot from Kilo there. That's a great shot there, opening the round for his team and already getting rid of the sledge and the nades in blue. Yeah, they got a little bit aggressive there, a little bit of an early push there in blue, without really clearing anything else on the map, and looks like they're gonna pay for that again, as Naiko is gonna get another one on Heyman there. He's gonna put his team in a 5v3 situation now. Oh, his Fox is gonna run in and he's gonna run back out. He's gonna take out Kito's head while he's getting smoked. I don't know what's going on right now, but I mean, it's insane. These players just peeking each other. They're not playing Oregon, they're playing Coastline.
Yeah, it's definitely feeling very aggressive. It's a great play for Fox to be able to get Keto there, as the shield will be detonated in elbow. Things walled off in response, and already 3 bodies down, a minute 30 left, only half the round taken away, as I believe the roam play has been abandoned from Noetic. They've dropped down into these secondary positions now as they're holding firmly on the site. Already,
Yeah,
Matrix starting to work as well, and he'll be wanting to get more and more pressure. Fox lost the diffuser as he's been taken down. Now pushing up through barrels, Risky has to do what he can. Matrix at least will continue to alleviate some pressure. Clutcher going down as Naquo getting risky with Risky, and Risky will be downed as well. Fox leaves it just up to Matrix here on 10 or so HP. Here comes some more quick peeks. Aquo trying to do what he can, keeping Fox, or rather Matrix, busy. But I think Fox is going to be left for dead here, and this will be a tough ask for Matrix to make work at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Almost no HP, and he has a good gun, but in a 1v3 situation like that, it's a lot to ask of him, and he won't be able to do it, as Jaeger is gonna finish out the last kill and is gonna take the round for his team. I mean, that was actually a crazy round for an Oregon round.
Yeah, that was very crazy, honestly.
I feel like I undermined a little bit how crazy it was. How Ace just ran in through the smoke, killed Smoke, and ran back out. Like, what was the? I mean, you usually just don't see that, right?
Yeah.
Teams try to get rid of the shield, or they just try to go for another way. But he said, "Okay, we don't have the nades. I guess we won't be able to get rid of the shield now. Let me see if I can just kill this guy." And he peeked at the right time. Unfortunately for Kiro, he was holding a gas canister. He just threw it away, or he was in the middle of animation there, something like that, and he just exposed himself a little bit. And yeah, he got his head taken out immediately by the ace there that just ran in and killed him. It was Fox, right? So that was a crazy round. That was a crazy round, especially that play, but overall as well. Just kind of trying to ignore the roam and going for a one-sided blue push without any plans besides let's just peek them, hope we win these gunfights while we burn the utility, right? And that's usually the hardest thing with Oregon. You just can't afford to just go through one door and try to burn utility and win your gunfights, because the defenders, they have such an advantage in most of these gunfights, because when you're there in blue, that double door, it's so easy to peek that from inside than from outside, right? Because from outside, there could be bullet holes, they could be peeking you from the left side, from the right side, it could be swinging you, triple swinging you, and on double door, it's not really like that, right? So definitely a disadvantage there for the attackers, as it always is, but they made it a bit harder for themselves than usual, than they need to, in my personal opinion. And as I say that, we're gonna head in towards the top floor here, as Skies is gonna hold here on the trophy area with the shield, and looks like they're just gonna clear it out real quick. He knows that he needs to run away here.
Yeah, pretty fast run from Skies, or rather, pretty early leaving of that position. A bit of an extension here, as Clutcher's actually gonna find the head of Fox through the hole that he had just created in that bedroom wall. But already this clear is coming super fast from Ruhr, and this has been something that we saw last round as well. They're very confident despite losing these bodies. They're moving very fast. Sky's getting annoying here as well onto Heyman, as he's gonna abandon his window position. And something that hasn't been abandoned that I think needs to be noted as well is downstairs, where Keto is going to be striking as well, finding Pinto looking for a nitro in the response as well. Nothing will be found just yet. Oh, the nitro will be going off and finding a double for Keto, but Matrix at least gets a refrag, but it is just up to him once again, this time a 1-on-4. He couldn't make the 1-on-3 work, and I mean, no burn to get rid of this, other than his one drone in his pocket, to get rid of this Rooney Gate. Things are pretty doomed, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna get tapped away here pretty soon by Nako here with a shotgun, and he'll make good work of that shotgun, as he's gonna finish him out through the wall just behind him. I mean, we're not expecting the Zofia to win it out yet again. She couldn't last time round, and there's no way she's just pulling out this 1v4 in the way these defenders were playing, right? They were just in crossfires. There's just no way. There's no opportunity there.
Yeah, it is pretty rough looking start for Ruhrsports, but it is defense on Oregon. Things are, not always attacker favored.
Or rather, it's attack on Oregon for them. I mean, attacking is just
Yeah.
so hard on this map, and losing
Yeah.
2 in a row is just. I mean, I don't like to say it because I mean I just don't like to say it because I would like the maps to be a bit more balanced. But I would,
Yeah.
but it's okay. It's okay. It's acceptable to lose 2 in a row in Oregon. You need to win the third one. I don't like to say that, but this is truth.
Mhm.
It's true. It's okay to lose the basement attack and the top floor attack as long as you're winning your kitchen dining attack. And even losing that sometimes is acceptable, right? Because there's always that chance that you're gonna go to the defense and dominate the same way. And we've seen it happen in the league, not only in other leagues but in talent leagues so many times before.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm not a fan at all of talking about like map sidedness, I guess, in the same way that like it just feels weird because I want to be talking about it in the same way that how teams talk or how casters and analysts talk about like Counter-Strike maps, where it's like, oh, this map is by nature of the way it's structured, it's like it's T-sided or CT-sided or whatever. But every time I talk about like siege maps, unless you're talking about Coast and maybe Chalet, uh, it's always
We're
that
not
it's
too
like
sure yet about Chalet.
defenders. It's like it's always defender sided. I don't know. I don't like talking about how like you're expected to get certain rounds. Pinto's finally cut himself a kill here as he's now I believe 1 and 2. Finally starting to wake himself up, and that's the first round that'll be starting off in favor of Ruhrsports here out of the 3 so far.
Yeah, and finally an opening kill for them. I mean, they just couldn't get one, and they're gonna get another one, actually. A double here from Pinto, as the players are gonna get aggressive towards the double window as well. And it looks like Neko is gonna trade back, but they're gonna be hunting this Jaeger. And Pinto is gonna get another one, actually, on the bed there. Hobo or double window. And looks like the defenders are just gonna get aggressive. They're gonna push right back at them.
Yeah,
Neko
Neko hit a
flanking
nasty
smoke.
one that I did see around the corner there. He's gonna be pushed off his flank as he did see Pinto drop trying to hunt for his 4-piece now. So the double SAS on the defense here are the last 2 remaining. Oh, and I think Matrix should have the... No, actually, I didn't notice that Neko ran into the bathroom.
Oh, but he has perfect information on the mute. He knows exactly where he's at. Oh no, Kito! What is that shot? Just
Wow.
destroying him like that. I mean, and the 2 SAS players right now, they have a great chance of pulling this off. It's gonna be pretty much an amazing clutch if they're gonna pull it off. I think it was a 2v4, now it's a 2v2. They made it a 2v2, and 2 of these players are relatively low on HP, especially Risky with the exactly half HP, I believe, and no Harbridge on the board for the attackers, so they have to win these gunfights somehow, and they will be able to, as Risky is going to take out Keto and he's going to put this team in a 2v1 situation. Neko with the smoke canisters here, and he will need to make it a 4K to win out the round. So he's going to hear the plan, and he will be shot down by Pinto. A 4K from Pinto, I believe.
Yeah.
Great round from him. I mean, well played. Great shots with the SMG-11, but even better shots with the L85, opening the round there for his team, just really clearing out these roamers, taking all the individual 1v1s and just winning them straight up. That's what he did. Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a pause here. Perhaps some technical difficulties. But I mean, while we're pausing here, we can talk about Pinto there. And what do you think Roar actually has done better this time round, than the previous 2? Besides the obvious fact that, I mean, they were attacking dining, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's in part. I don't want to like discredit Ruhrsports there at all. I think it's in part though that how Noetic held it. It enabled Ruhrsports to be able to work these like 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 picks, whereas you saw in the basement, Ruhrsports tried to peek into the crossfire down in the blue bunker with Keto swinging and Clutcher sitting on that bunker door. Or you saw it on Kid's bedroom where they kept trying to peek into what like 2-on-2 disadvantageous crossfires or whatever. And I think the way that they handled this upstairs hold from Noetic here, it was really just Pinto rather, able to isolate one-on-one fights and be able to take these kills that are more out in the open rather than people just. I mean, you saw throughout the round every time we looked at Keto or Naquo, they were just like QE peeking a corner with the SMG-11, and
Doing great shots.
like, yeah, they were. The SMG-11 on that last round from all the players involved were insane, but like, still, it's just, it's straight gunfights that Ruhrsports was taking rather than just getting smoked by ghosts on some of these angle plays. As I believe, rehost time?
I hope we're not gonna have a rehost here, but
Not either.
maybe just a pause. I mean, anyway, I definitely agree with you, and I mean, I would like to even elaborate on that because you're right. It's actually because the way that, I mean, one of the big reasons why that happened is because of the way that Noetic played that round on defense and their positioning. But the problem there with kitchen and dining, when you hold the top floor, is you can't really hold it too well because you can't, because of the big window there. You can't really do too much. There's really nothing you can do because of the big window. All the attackers need to do is just open up that window, put an attacker there, and you can't play half of the floor, right?
Yeah.
He can shut down so many angles, and if he has nades or capital fire, whatever it is, right? Area of denial, he's just gonna destroy you if you're gonna sit in some corner next to the big window. So that entire area, you have to constantly pick the big window, and then you're getting pinched in from the other side as well. Usually your bedroom wall is not gonna be reinforced, and if it is, it's just a little bit of a waste of reinforcements. And I mean, you're not too sure because they can also come from attic. Basically, there's too many places to clear from, and there's too many opportunities for the attackers to crossfire on the top floor. So it's really rough. Some teams, they just choose to open up that kids hatch, make sure that that's open, leave one player in kids, leave one player in top white, and just waste a little bit of time and then just drop down because they feel like it's so hard to win these gunfights. And I mean, it is really hard when the attackers are pushing you at the same time from both sides or even from three sides at the same time. Let's say they're pushing you from attic, bedroom side, and big window at the same time. It's almost unwinnable. I mean, you just can't usually win a three-way, four-way crossfire like that. So a lot of teams will decide to just drop down. Noetic decided that they want to stay and fight. They wanted to take the gunfights, and they lost them. That's what happened there. At the end of the day, yes, it's well played by Roar, that especially Pinto, that won his gunfights, and he took generally 1v1s, but those defenders were in very high pressure situations where they kind of had to peek out because they were getting pressured consistently from other players as well, right? So they're peeking out. They're not really, when you have to peek out, you're not choosing the time. You're always gonna have the disadvantage. The attacker is gonna expect that you're gonna peek now because he knows that you're feeling the pressure, and you just don't know exactly where he's at. He's probably holding the angle. You're just in disadvantage there. And I mean, that's understandable. It's kitchen dining, as I said, and that's actually the side that, again, I don't like talking about that, but Roar is expected to win. And now it's all of a sudden looking good for them, right? Oregon is looking fine. If they get one or two more attacks, then they practically won the attacking side, the half, the split, right, on the side of Oregon, and they're gonna move on to defense confidently. So we're gonna see how it goes. But so far, I'd say it's it's pretty close, just because the last round was so dominant.
Yeah, it definitely was. As we're going to be loading back on in. Laundry supply is the choice. As one of Mozzie or Capcan will be staying here for Noetic. The Ying is sixth off of, as I believe Fox got random to it, but we'll get to see a little bit of change. I believe the Mozzie was... I remember, actually. No, I'm thinking
I
about
don't
it.
believe. I don't believe he was played. I don't
He
think
wasn't.
was
I don't
played.
think he was played either, but I can't remember what it was the last time around on the basement here.
Perhaps mute, maybe. Melusi.
Malusi.
It was Melusi. It was Melusi. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit different. Mozzie to Melusi, they bring different utility. But I mean, I don't think it's going to make such a huge impact, such a big difference. Maybe actually Mozzie is going to be slightly better here just because it's just going to make it just as much harder to drone. And you kind of have these specific routes that you have to go through in Oregon where you have to drone to clear some angles and make sure that you drone out roamers, right? So it's actually pretty easy to make sure that these pests are in useful places. And perhaps they just felt like the Banshees were not as useful. Looks like Sky's gonna do really early and quick work here of these two drones in the middle of lobby that were just, I mean, well played by Roar there, putting these drones in aggressive spots, making sure that they can get information early on, right? So now maybe they lost two drones, and that's not ideal, but at least they know that Jaeger is around here, and he's playing pretty aggressively around the lobby area. As Neko is gonna peek out, and he's gonna chip a little bit of damage from Zofia, I believe, as the Matrix is gonna take Keto down.
Oh.
That's a smoke player as well.
Oh!
Guys, he's gonna get double actually for his troubles, and Matrix is gonna answer back, is gonna put his team in a 3v3 situation, and he's already on side. Heyman and Risky, they're gonna get two, and Vor, they're just flooding the side right now. They know the less player is in a freezer, and they're gonna confidently and comfortably put this plant down. Flashes are going out, and this player, Nako, he just has no chance. Matrix is peeking on the flash player there, and is gonna do a quick work of him. He's gonna finish up that round. A little bit of a godly move there. I don't condone that, but I mean, you do what you do.
Wow. Very fast hit from the front here for Ruhr right off the break that we had. As they make quick work of that round, the Melusi comes out time around. And I think it was pretty obvious how Ruhr wanted to go for that one. They could tell that the Mozzie and I believe someone else, I think the Aruni, it was, that were both upstairs. So if you can get 5 bodies onto site ASAP and hold off everyone upstairs, or the couple upstairs from rotating at least for a little bit, so that you have that 4-on-3 or even 5-on-3 on site, even if for that little bit of time, as you saw, that enabled Ruhrsports to just get so much pressure, so much control. You saw Skies do a fantastic job to try and cut off from the front at the least and get that nice 2-piece off of, I think, 3 or 4 bullets. But still, Matrix just created so much space. He was doing great work getting down there first and refragging off his teammates. And just the amount of pressure that came with that attack and just quickly taking all that ground worked out so well for Ruhr. And it's nice to see that they were able to get around again on the attack on not the third site, really, or like one of the alternate sites, I guess, in that Laundry Supply is obviously, as we talked about before, notoriously an awful site to attack. It is slow, it is just burn heavy, and it's annoying to go for. So it's I'm glad that we could see them take that as I believe they're attacking it again, but
Yes, they
even
are.
more so this time. Noetic's further on the roam, and fast peeking again is just gonna work out for Noetic.
Oh my god, Neko, you just shot this man outside the white van, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's insane, man. Alright, and he's getting aggressive on this garage player as well. Risky knows that it's risky to pick Neko right now. He's thirsty. He's hitting his shots, and I mean, with Melusi's gun, when you're hitting your shots, that thing is like a laser beam. So when you're hitting the headshots, it's just scary to peek that thing. I like what Roar is trying to do here. They're trying to mix it up a little bit. You know, they went for an aggressive attack, then they went for an aggressive attack, but from the other side, and now they're taking it a little bit slower, as Pinto is gonna get another pick for his team, or at least the first pick for his team. And Skies are Skies and Nako are gonna answer back and take 2 for that. So they're gonna put Roar in a 2v4 situation, make it a 2v3 now, as Heyman is gonna take another one down with him. And I mean, this is definitely gonna be a rough one with Pinto on such low HP, and the Noetic player is still roaming around here. Nako is gonna be quiet here on the lobby player, and Heyman is gonna go down on the floor. Sledge, Pinto, less one alive, less men standing with 1 HP. Can he make this work?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take some real heroics. He's on single digits probably at this point. And it's just, I mean, again, another 1v3. Early aggression from Noetic is working out fantastically for them. As we see a little bit of a hip fire action there. Just a single bullet was needed, and it worked out in the end. So, Noetic will take back their lead as they will send us to Kids Dorm once again. Second time that we'll get to see this site and how Noetic chooses to hold with that that shield plus a Rooney Gate plus the Jaegers all in trophy. A hold that's been a little bit more popular lately. Even though, as you could see from Ruhr, it was pretty confidently, pretty quickly cleared. So I assume we'll see that, as Noetic has been previously a team that just stoutly resides in their strats. If something doesn't work, then they'll try a new site, but if they go back there, they'll just go right back to what they were trying beforehand. And so far, for the most part for Noetic, stuff has been working out pretty well. They are changing up a little bit with a bedroom Rooney Gate, actually, that I noticed, instead of the other one on the third door of trophy there. So it'll be a little bit easier. Well, no, it'll be, actually, I think it might be even harder for them to handle, for Ruhr to handle the shield, because you have to burn through that front gate just to get into create some pressure, which was the problem for Noetic the last time around, if you call it that, with how solidly they won that round, just because someone could push aggressively alongside having that window pressure. But yeah, I mean, I want to see Ruhr take care of this aggressive downstairs play first.
I mean, one of the issues is that bedroom area and the Rooney gates and all of that, but I mean, the other thing that can actually eliminate that is just taking armory control here, as the Matrix will do, and just Sophia being in army here is gonna put so much pressure on that shield player in trophy. He will kind of need to move back, right? This wall is soft right here, and that's just a lot of pressure on the trophy here. So many angles that the player needs to peek, and he's not gonna be there already. I'm pretty sure he ran away at this point. So it's a little bit of a waste of utility if you're asking me. 2 Roonies and 1 shield just to run away after basically 40 seconds. A little bit questionable there, but what can you do? It's just the way the map is set up. That's where you need to question your strats and how you want to play them, and you need to kind of evaluate where it's worth putting utility and what kind of utility is worth dying for and staying or running away from. As Heyman is gonna get a kill here through the barricade. That's nasty, as Nako is gonna go down on the floor. I noticed that the smoke player here is going down often, but also Ruhr is getting traded often and trading back. Risky is gonna take out Skies as I say that, and Jaeger is gonna go down on the floor. So that's no smoke and no Jaeger here. As the attack is definitely coming in here from bedroom side, as the wall is open already by Fox. That managed to stay alive this time to breach the wall.
Yeah, minute to go as the breaches are fully done from Fox. And, you know, these open engagements, like we were talking about before, these open engagements have been working out fantastically for Ruhr. They're able to win out when they're not being quick-peeked from around every corner of the map by Noetic. 3-on-4 with 35 seconds to go, as Keto's going to hold downstairs to try and create some presence.
Ooh, he's looking for Matrix.
Pressure. Matrix is
I don't think Matrix knows about him.
Trap. Shoot it, and he's not going to... No! He's going to take the head off of Keto! Risky as well, leaves it just up to Clutcher as the plant is coming down from Fox. Fox will be getting zapped away just a little bit, but here comes Pinto. And he's gonna get
Oh
onto the cam. Oh, you knew it was coming once he sprinted on in there. That's rough.
Oh, Roar.
And it's a 3-3 half here for Ruhr, which is something you like to see on the attack here of Oregon.
And every time they won the attack, it was so confident and so dominant as well, right? Which that's not something they usually see on Oregon. Usually on Oregon, when you see a team pulling off the attacks, it's like a clutch situation that they somehow miraculously have been able to pull off, or just a very close round, trades going back and forth, and then they were just kind of able to execute towards the end very well. But here it's a little bit different, right? Because these attacks that they're winning are really, really dominant. Yes, Noetic is fighting back here a little bit. They're trying to equalize, but when Roar is winning these attacks, it's just so confident, so dominant. It just looks like they're doing whatever they want. They just look like a different team every time they win these attacks. So I want to see how much of this they can translate to defense, because for me, they definitely won the attacking side, the first split of the map. And if they can take this momentum towards the defense side, where they're a little bit more favored to win these gunfights, I'm really curious to see where they're gonna go with this.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they want to change some stuff up, or rather how they'll differently hold it comparatively to Noetic. Already there's, I mean, pretty much everything has been the same, minus the Malusi. It is the same lineup from Ruhr as Noetic had brought, basically just...
Similar utility placements as well.
Yeah. You touched on it a little, and I guess, how do I word it? Like the pre-show, I guess. Before the map started, you hit on it a little bit in that basically teams see what teams do in EUL, and then that just becomes the team's
whatever.
strat. Yeah. They just see it in pro, they make it their strat, and then they go from there.
I mean, the thing with that as well, that the T1 teams are not really mixing it up, because there's really nothing to mix up. I mean, that's just what works, and you can't really change it too much because it will stop working. There's not a lot of flexibility here in Oregon. And oh no, Nako! Is Heyman is gonna take your head down. I mean, that's insane. I don't know what's going on with the SMG-11s today. Kido is gonna trade back from below onto the mute there. He's gonna go down with a C4, but I don't know if that's worth it. Your Zofia is down. That's your primary soft reach with so much utility, and you still have these shields. The Arvuni's still up. I don't know. That's gonna be a rough one to attack now for Noetic.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough losing the Zofia, especially like you mentioned just now, or like you said just now. The Arunis are still all up. There's not a ton of burn unless the Flores will get to work on that. But there's still so much destructibility in that one operator as he'll start to get to work here. Gonna dodge out from this cam. He's gonna try and get the shield. He jumps on through the Aruni gate, so it's fine. And he destroys the shield, so that's one shield down out of 3 or 4 here for Ruhr. Or rather for...
Maybe he didn't destroy the shield? I'm not too sure.
Oh, did it not?
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't?
He didn't destroy the shield. Oh my god. Yeah, that's gonna be a rough execute here. But they're going for a laundry freezer take here, and it's gonna come down to these gunfights here. They got rid of one shield here, one Goyo shield towards the laundry area, but it's still not enough. The attacks, the defense still has favorable gunfights, and as I say that, Fox and Skies are gonna trade back and forth here as they're gonna make it a 3v3 situation here. Risky is gonna go down on the floor. His Pinto is gonna get lit up in the box, and he's gonna go down as well. Fox in a 1v3 and make it a 0v3 as he's losing this round for his team. He wouldn't be able to clutch it out no matter what. I mean, he's just getting shot out from so many angles. We're not expecting him to clutch that. And that was a really, 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 really good execute there from Noetic, considering the fact that they basically had no good amount of utility to work with there. I mean, they decided to also get rid of the Goyo shields there really late in the round, and while they were doing that, they were still winning their gunfights and pushing in at the same time. And if they needed to be honest, they would have even had time to plan. So that was really well played by Noetic. And th- if they're able to just win a round where they're in such a disadvantage, it's just gonna be a little bit rough. So Roar will need to pick it up a little bit, make sure that they're really winning these gunfights when it comes down to the execute, because that's where they should win the gunfights.
Yeah, definitely should be. As I think, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how these rounds play out, because as we saw on the Noetic's defensive side, they're very solid with their quick peeks and able to punish that, but now you don't really have that on the attacking side as often or as plentifully, because you have
Almost
to do the
none of
pushing.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do the pushing. You can't let people push into you. So unless outside of the flank watch players, you're really not going to get much of that. And in these open area engagements, for the most part, Ruhrsports has been doing fantastically. They're going to switch things up on their strat and try and take advantage of that open areas play with a bit of a roam coming up top here, which is not something that we really saw last round. It was mostly just a hunker down in the basement type of hold. Pretty much the cut and dry default that everyone runs at that point. So I'm interested to see how it'll go here now, as I've not really seen Noetic deal much with these roam plays.
Keto already down on the floor.
Keto
Did he get
through the
shot?
hole.
Or, the
Oh.
drum hole. Nah,
Skies
you won't be able
almost
to
got it
connect
back.
those. I mean, free damage here onto Keto here is a good start. Definitely a good start for Roar here, if they know it or not. Possibly they don't know that the player is down like that, but it's still a good start for them. And yeah, as you said, I mean, they're gonna be roaming here and around meeting, so definitely a different strat here, a little bit more aggressive. This is actually a very interesting strat, just because it denies the roam clear so much. As Pinto is gonna be taken down by Crack that was sneaking down the laundry stairs. Both players knew, but Crack was just better there on the reaction shot and was able to take the mute player down without trading actually any damage, to be honest. He's on full HP, so well played by him, as Matrix is going to be holding the pixel angle here. Noetic must know this. They pre-firing it. Like, there is no way that you don't know that someone is holding that default freezer angle from below the door.
Bomb located by.
I just seem to notice, Noetic have 3 hard breachers on the board. They're running Thermite, Hibana, and Maverick all at the same time, and I guess you can afford to do that when you have Flores on board as well. That just creates so much pressure and so much destructibility from one operator. Skies is going to get quick peeked out by Risky here, playing on his laundry shield. He's going to sight up another one. Not able to get that kill as the Flores drone comes on in to destroy his shield, force him out of that position. Clutchers found the head of Fox in the meantime through the freezer as pushes are coming in split on split. Naquo does take out Matrix at least. Risky's caught in a tough spot. Things are looking rough still for Ruhr, as is just up to Risky. 1 on 3. He's got 2 bodies that are pretty low. He can find it, but he's just been called out. Crack saw the foot, and he's gonna take the head off of Risky. A quick shot there. Almost slow reaction, as he did see. I didn't know there was a drone hole even there up until that point. That'll put Noetic now soundly in a 5-3 lead here. On the attack, no less, attacking Laundry Supply twice.
It was a great round from Crack there. I believe it was a 4K there for the Ibana. And actually, I want to touch a little bit on what you said with the 3 Harbingers. I actually didn't notice until you said that, but I think it's actually really, really, really useful, just because you really want to make sure that you're breaching everything you can on Oregon, because as we said, it's so hard to attack that you need to make sure that you're making you're making the most out of the walls that you can breach, right? So even if your Ibana is dead, or your Maverick is dead, or your Thermite is dead in this case, you still have 2 other breachers that can still do the job of the hard breach and create that pressure onto the site. Doing with their main gadget, right? You don't need to bring anything secondary for that. So you can use the two other operators to get a bit of utility, and with the floors now, that's a legit opportunity right now that the attackers have, and it's possible that Noetic is onto something here.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like Maverick or Hibana really have their lack of speed either. You can afford, I think, when you have Flores, you can afford to bring smokes on Thermite now that he has them, and Clutcher is doing just that. Plus, the bonus nades on Maverick just add that much destructibility, so there's, like, it may seem kind of goofy that they're running 3 hard breachers, but like you said, there's so much destructibility on this side. There's a lot of breachability. There's so much pressure that you can exert, and there's just this hidden destructibility that they have with those nades, with all that clear that Noetic has, thanks to these secondary gadgets on these operators, and that'll do fantastically as well on this site where you don't really have to breach as much, but the more that you can breach on kids, the better your life is. You know, you can dedicate someone to pushing out the attic players, create pressure in the kids' dorms. You can try and work Risky here out of his Hell in a Cell that he created, as he's got like 4 walls and like a Rooney gates or something down there. This is an insane hold from Ruhr that they've cooked up here, and already there's just so much pressure that Noetic has to deal with from these forward-facing holes.
Ooh, Pinto!
Wow!
There was a great pre-fire there onto the tower. I mean, Sky's gonna go down, and that's the Maverick down on the floor now, as Sky's gonna get the opening for the team, as Quito is gonna trade back onto Pinto here, and he's gonna push up towards on the attic area here, and looks like the defenders are still gonna hold on to the bottom floor here. 2 defenders at least, maybe even 3, as the attackers are gonna push through attic here. Matrix is gonna get another one here on the side, as Zofia is gonna be on the big window, just creating that pressure on the side. Matrix is sneaking up on the flank of the attackers. I'm pretty sure they're aware of this one. Clutcher is definitely aware, but he's gonna hold this, and I believe that Matrix is not gonna peek just now. He's probably gonna wait a little bit, as Nako is gonna get another kill for his team through the double window there, and Risky is down on the floor. So a 3v1 situation now. Matrix is the only one alive, and they know exactly where he's at. He's on the top of the armory stairs, and he will need to do something crazy to win out this round. The attackers, they do have the diffuser, and I believe it's going to be going down now. Matrix is going to try and create some angles here, some opportunities here, but it's definitely going to be a hard task. Nako is going to make sure that he's holding this angle towards the door. It's going to be really hard for Matrix to pick this.
Yeah.
Bit of pre-fire there, and cracked through the wall. He's going to finish it out for his team. I mean, great round from Ruhr. Great adaptation in general with the way that they played this round. They spread out a little bit more. They didn't really do any of the they didn't really go for the same kind of mistakes that it did before. But I mean, Noetic still was able to win out most of these gunfights, and they just dominated this round, to be honest, regardless of what Ruhr did.
Yep, very solid attack in the end from Noetic, though, as have been the previous 2 rounds. It almost feels like regardless of what happens in the beginning, Noetic is able to just claw it back through great scrap fighting in this, like, almost execute phase of the rounds. Once they have stuff opened up, once they have their positions, it seems like Ruhrsports is just not able to handle Noetic at all. And that's happened 3 rounds in a row now. So hopefully we'll get to see Rur bring it on back, stop this little streak that Noetic has put up of 3 in a row, 4 out of the last 5 as well. So far, every time, other than outside of this half, every time that a team has gotten the opening kill, they've won the round. So far, though, Ruhr has opening kills on 2 of these last 3 rounds that Noetic have won, and they still lose out the round. And it's not even like these kills are getting traded early. Noetic is just able to claw back from these deficits fantastically.
The thing with Noetic, if you notice, that's not something that they do only against Roar. They just do it in general. Every team that they play against, they usually have a lot of opening kills, but they also have a lot of opening deaths. And they're still able to win a lot of these rounds where they're giving away these opening deaths. And that's a curious thing because in Siege, it's usually not the case. If you're looking at most teams, their opening deaths and opening kills they're gonna just kind of define and decide, okay, Pinto, as I say that, he's gonna take down Nako and he's gonna bring another opening kill for his team here for Roar, as the Goyo shield is gonna go down and he will need to peek out, he will need to run away while doing it. Matrix is gonna help him out a little bit here on the Arvuni as he's gonna take down Keto. So as I was saying, Noetic has this ability to just claw back their way, like you said, from a man disadvantage, right? In rounds where it really looks like they shouldn't win, but they really often win them out. I don't know how they do it, and they do it against a lot of teams. They actually did it against every team in the league that they played until now, and it's just something with their playstyle, something with the pattern that the way they're playing the game. So definitely when you're getting the opening kill on them, you need to watch out. You need to make sure that you're playing on these crossfires and not and you're trading on them, right? You're playing on the man advantage hardcore, even more so than usual.
Yeah, things are looking a bit rough for Noetic. They've slowed down heavily, and now Clutcher will go down. Pinto's aggression working out well here as Crack is across the map trying to do what he can. Aggression from Pinto is going to be punished by Skies, but it is just up to Skies. Crack gets taken down from a quick peek from Fox. We'll surely see 6-4 now, but not... Oh! Just able to miss, or just barely rather, missing the head of Fox. Skies was only able to find 1 there. And that'll send us to 6-4 here. As hopefully, now from here, Ruhr can start their comeback to at least send us into OT. Trying to make it the 3rd time in 7 maps that Noetic faces overtime here. And it'll be a kitchen dining defense to be set up for Ruhr. And something that I haven't touched on yet that I always like touching on with this map is I like getting to cast EU because it means I get to see this map, or this site. Because everyone in NA really loves to run meeting and kitchen, and everyone in EU really loves to run kitchen and dining. At least at the pro level.
Yeah, that's because of the different of the play styles between both of these sides. So they're fundamentally different. On kitchen and dining, you have to play aggressively. You have to, because that's the whole thing with kitchen and dining, that you have to hold on to small tower, and to hold on to small tower, the only way is to hold small tower and to peek from dining towards the small tower. So really aggressive peeks from shower usually. Some teams, they open up the wall that Risky is reinforcing right now with Fox, so they would open half of it or all of it, and they would just put like an ACOG or even just a Jaeger, and they would just constantly peek towards the windows, the doors, towards everything in small tower, and we just play really, really aggressively, while there's another player in small tower at the top, usually a Frost, just for these windows, for the vaults, just playing really aggressively, peeking the small tower. And the other side, meeting and kitchen, is really different, because you're not really getting aggressive towards the the entry point of the attackers. It's more so you're just trying to deny attic as much as possible, and then you're trying to deny the site. So you have to play way more aggressive here, and Europe is just playing way more aggressive than NA in general. So they just prefer to go for this side. They don't want to, turtle in the side. They would prefer to not do that. So that's why that's the difference. That's why NA likes to play the other side so much.
Yeah. Something also interesting is that there's no bathroom holes being opted into here by Ruhr. Normally you do see that with these bathroom or with these kitchen dining holds because it enables that aggression. It helps work out with that aggression. As Matrix will
Great
start
shots.
his own. He's found the head of Skies here, playing around through that that bathroom hall. It's not opened up. Nothing's opened up over there, so he can afford to do that. Fox came flying around that bomb and took the head off Nakwa. At least Crack will try to refrag, pick one up onto Pinto here. But so early on and so much utility lost here for the side of Noetic as they lost 2 bodies.
Yeah, a lot of utility, but I mean, they also gained a lot of map control here as these defenders are gonna keep getting aggressive here. Risky is gonna peek out, gonna help the Jaeger out. And he's gonna make sure that Crack is gonna go down on the floor. He won't be getting any more kills this round. And Fox is gonna go down as well as Heyman, Risky, and Matrix are gonna fight it off against Keto right now as they pick up Fox. Keto in a 1v4 situation. He's gonna peek towards the shower hallway. Pings are coming in, but I mean, he's getting wallbanged left and right. There's no way that he's winning that one. Ugh. I mean, that was a crazy round. And as I said, the defense, they're just playing aggressive on this side. They have to play aggressive. If you don't, you just give up small tower and shower. And if you do, they're just gonna plant. That's the gist. That's how the site works. If you don't have shower and small tower, you have to constantly peek, because if not, they're gonna run towards the site and plant.
Yep, and I mean, we've said it time and time again in these open engagements. Ruhrsports has been doing fantastically here when they don't have to peek into the ready held angles or the quick angles from Noetic. So it works out fantastically for them there. And like you were saying, like you just said, their aggression pays off yet again. We'll see how they can handle Laundry Supply now for the 3rd time, which we've lost twice so far, and things have not looked the greatest down here. As a result, I believe all the upstairs play is being abandoned, at least for the most part, as there is going to be a Lamai picked up here. No? It does look like they are still going to stick with their strat at the least for the most part.
I mean, that's not a bad strat inherently, right? I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know if you remember, but the very first team that made it work and popularized it was Mirage, the old one, the Canadian one.
Yes, I do remember that.
And then after that, a lot of teams started copying that. I mean, it's very different from the way that you usually play the site, just because you're holding on to meeting, and it's not as viable as it used to be on the old Oregon, but it's still viable because you can kind of hold the blue rush there from the top floor, and you're kind of forcing the attackers to clear you out in meeting if they want to put pressure towards that blue area properly. But on the other hand, it means that if they're gonna ignore you and go for the freezer area and the main stairs area, it's just gonna be that much easier for them, as Pinto is gonna get the first kill here on the round. A C4 kill nonetheless onto Nako here, as Zofia is going down here again on the Oregon laundry attack. Your Zofia is dead. So it's definitely gonna be a rough one. They dealt with it pretty well last time around, Noetic, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to pull off any miracles like that yet again, as it looks like 4 is definitely adapting here and playing a bit differently. They're getting these picks, and as you see, retreating back to side, playing more towards the side now, more in these crossfires, more towards that man advantage, as I said before, and that's what I wanted them to do. They're getting these opening kills consistently, and it's better if they hold on to them for as long as possible.
Yeah, they definitely have been doing that and trying to create as much advantage, create as much stall in the meantime. And we've seen that work out the past couple of rounds. They'll open up with a pick and then drop back even more and not give up much.
Okay.
Taking it is Clutcher, even if it wasn't much. Found the head of Matrix here. The Skies is also going to be looking to push forward and find another.
Ooh.
That is the mute down, rather, of Pinto. Is he going to snap back to the head of Fox? Made me lose my words for a second. Skies on his lonesome here as he's going to be pushing through the fire any moment, rather. He's going to wait for it to burn out. Clutcher should be seeing the back of Heyman soon. Skies has been taken down by the smoke as Risky and Heyman are left alone. 2 on 3, 25 seconds to go. There should still be a handful of smokes left, but Clutcher still has his own normal smoke grenades. Now, waiting for this execute, Noetic's gonna finally slowly play through the proximity alarms, and baiting in his teammate. Clutcher's gonna lose his head as Crackle down. Heyman holding firm. He's gonna peek out and secure our OT. 3 on 2 does not matter here for Ruhr, as they're going to bring the momentum into overtime. 3 straight rounds after losing 3 straight. We'll be seeing at least another 2 rounds of Oregon.
That was an amazing round from Heyman. I mean, you know, sometimes you just feel like the smoke is gonna do something crazy and is gonna clutch it out, and that was definitely one of those rounds. You just kind of felt it after you got that first kill. You're like, yeah, he still has smoke canisters. This guy is on fire right now. He's hitting his SMG-11 shots, and when an SMG-11 player is hitting his shots, that's scary because that fire rate is insane, and you're going down in seconds, in milliseconds. Even if he's not hitting the headshots, you're still going down fast as long as he's hitting down on your body like these shots consistently. 2 to 3 shots depending on your HP and you're already dead, and it happens so fast it's almost like a headshot with that fire rate.
Yeah, it's very crazy. And I mean, we've just been seeing these SMG players feeling themselves all day long. They have been feeling fantastic both sides of the board. Keto and Naquo specifically were going pretty crazy on their SMGs on Mute and Smoke, and Pinto and Heyman now as well on theirs respectively. Heyman is going to swap off the smoke for a Frost this time around, as it will be kitchen and dining yet again this time for Ruhrsports. They're not going to opt into laundry supply. They're not going to opt into kids' dorms. They're going to go for that site that they are 1 for 1 on, that they haven't lost at all. So, we'll get to see how Noetic wants to handle this attack. And I think I'm not even really sure how Noetic should be attacking this one, given the aggression that Ruhrsports keeps wanting to show.
I mean, they just need to try and bait them out a little bit. Ruhr is a little bit too aggressive here, as you can see, peeking out towards these windows and just peeking outside. It's something that you have to punish right now as these nades come in. And actually, we see a kill here with the gadgets of Keto, and that's something that you don't see often. He's gonna get another one. He's gonna make it a double for himself here on the round, and that's a great play from him. He's gonna put his team in an advantage here, I believe, for the first time in the last 4 rounds. So 5v3 situation right now for Noetic, and it's already looking better than the previous rounds. They have this shower control. Sky's gonna get another one for his team here. As you can see, a lot of pressure on these windows. That's what Noetic needs right now, and they're just gonna shut down this aggression, and they're gonna push towards dining, and they're gonna get ready to just plant down.
Yeah, and especially considering the amount of control that they have, Noetic can just play the time, take what they can, and, you know, as little or as much as they need right now. They don't have a nitro to worry about. They don't have smokes to worry about. They just have just the Warden here on his lonesome, and he's going to be found out trying to push forward. It's Crack to finish that one off here. As, like you said, Noetic just need to handle the aggression and take Ruhr getting too cocky with themselves, feeling themselves after the last couple of rounds. And Ruhr tries to bite off a little too much, and with that, Noetic is poised here going into their defensive round to take this map here, 8-6.
Yeah, definitely a bit more than they can chew there for Roar. But I mean, great adaptation by Noetic, right? Staying outside. At least 2 or 3 of these players just stayed outside and they were waiting for these peaks. And that's what you need to do when a team is getting really aggressive towards you. You need to stay outside and bait them. Just constantly bait them. They're gonna eventually peek that window or that doorway that you're looking at, and you're gonna have the advantage. And hopefully you're able to win that. If you are, you're gonna put yourself in the advantage in terms of numbers, and then it's way easier to push towards the side when it's a 5v3, for example, as we saw. Right, because then the attackers even have more, the defenders even have more pressure on themselves, and they have to go for even more desperate plays, and that's when you're already reading that like an open book. So great play by Noetic there, well played from them, great round, and a great call from whoever called to slow it down a little bit and making sure that you're getting these picks from outside the building.
10 seconds.
But right now, Noetic is gonna go down towards the basement.
5
That
seconds to go.
Roar was able to win it out. They were able to win it out one time when they rushed
Use a bomb.
towards the main lobby area, if you remember, when all of Noetic started peeking the main lobby and 2 of them actually died.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We'll see now. There's still constant upstairs aggression. We haven't seen anyone contest this shield that Skies has been permanently stuck on here. I'm interested to see how Ruhr wants to push forward as they've done. We've seen a top-down clear. We've seen, you know, that very horizontal clear fail. We've seen their top-down work out fairly well for themselves, and we've seen that front direct work out very well for the side of Ruhr. So we'll get to see which one they opt into here on their attack for this 4th time getting to see this laundry supply defense out of Noetic. It's been very cautious play up until that point. Matrix finds the opener here for the side of Ruhr. A good start yet again, as it's now Pinto chiming in with another for himself, trying to get Skies rotating away. His 10th death, the only one on double-digit deaths this game, as he's been very contact heavy. He's also the only one I believe kills here. Mikwo's gonna get a nice knife and almost a second. Not enough before he's trying to scurry away. He's gonna take this fight actually, I think.
This fight, it's these fights, he's fighting so many people right now, and this 1v1 right now, they know exactly where he's at. They must know where he's at, right? And they know as Fox is gonna take him down with these body shots. I mean, that's why Ace's gun is so great. It doesn't matter, you don't need to hit the headshot. Clutcher is gonna make sure that he kills Pinto while he's nading him out. So the defenders are getting a little bit more aggressive here, as the attackers definitely are leading this round in the advantage in this 3v2 situation. Getting ready towards the execute here, as the box wall is gonna get opened up by the Zofia and Matrix. And Matrix and Risky is just gonna spray that smoke, and they're gonna put so much pressure on the side right now. Clutcher is gonna look for this pick on Freezer. He's not gonna be able to find it, but Kido, he's gonna answer back and he's gonna find a double for himself on this round. He's gonna be in this 1v2 situation and he won't be able to close it out. So we're gonna go to max overtime, 7-7, and I mean, it's match point right now, no matter what. Such a close Oregon, as Ruhr has the advantage here on defense.
Yeah, I would not have expected both attacking sides to win out on Oregon on the OT. So our final round will be
3-6.
Yeah, 3-6 to 7-7.
Cherish, they were down 3-6.
Yeah. This is... Whoo! We've got a game, and we still got a whole other map after Cafe after this one, so I'm looking forward to that, but we still have one round here on Oregon.
I'm already tired.
Hey, it's just one more map. We just gotta stick around. We're going for it. This is gonna be the long haul, because I think if I'm being honest, that one also is gonna hit OG. And I can already hear it. He's been grumbling this after Ruhr won that round. Yellow's been grumbling here on production. I can tell he's gonna hate it when we hit overtime on Cafe. Ooh, he's gonna hate that one.
I mean, he's gonna hate that one. I mean, but we love to see things like that though, because it's just so fun to cast when there's actually proper competition. I think this is my first time when the game is just so close, especially in Oregon for me when I'm casting. So it's really interesting to see. It's really interesting to watch how these teams are adapting to each other, and all of that, everything is gonna come down to this one round where Noetic is gonna attack. They're gonna find themselves in the side that actually is in the disadvantage, and they're gonna attack the top floor, which I think they only attacked once in this map. Maybe they didn't even attack it at all. I think they attacked it once, right? And they won it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But anyway, they have to attack the top floor here again, as Roar is on the advantage on the defense, and they're gonna be holding here. Risky is gonna make sure that he's gonna be holding these vertical holes from kitchen towards the side to deny any kids' windows repels or any plants and kids in general. As it looks like Noetic is just gonna ignore all of that and just gonna go for the classic attic bedroom side take.
Yep, pretty standard here, as we'll be getting to see how they hold up on this pretty default attack that Noetic has pulled off before. They like to exert a little pressure here on the Pinto.
Oh, no.
From behind, but this time from the front, it'll be Naquo finding Pinto for our opening kill. Another for Naquo as Matrix tries to eat things up and causes some problems for his team. Heyman is going to get pressured out by this Flores drone. As now Skies is trying to push forward. A smoke canister goes out in midair. He's going to get caught up on the lights, actually, as Heyman is caught in a pickle.
Oh, no.
Between a nade and a hard place. He can't go anywhere, and it's just up to Risky. This attack is so clean from Noetic.
Oh, no.
And our first flawless round will come on the final round of Oregon. 8-7, the way of Noetic, as they handle it so crisp, so clean, like they didn't drop a step in this attack. And they look so good here on that last round.
They looked really good. I mean, that was a great adaptation from them, just making sure that they're, again, just like the previous attack that they won, making sure that they're getting these picks from outside, repelling on the window, waiting for the roundouts, and then winning the gunfights when the aggression comes in. So, well played by Noetic. Unfortunately for Vor, they weren't able to adapt as well. They kept on going for the aggressive playstyle, especially what stands out there is, of course, Arvuni jumping out of the small tower and trying to refrag on the Zofia, which is not ideal. If you die there, you're putting your team in a 3v5 situation there, and this is going to be a rough one to win. So overall, great performance from both teams, but Noetic definitely played it a little bit better. The rounds were a bit more convincing for them.
Yeah, there is definitely had some close wins for Ruhr, but it, like you said, it was just so soundly in favor of Noetic on their wins. There was closer to more, 1v4s and 1v3s that Ruhr had to try and piece together, whereas Noetic did not have that same problem. But as we will be taking a short break, Please stick around for Cafe in just a few minutes when we'll be right back with some more Talent League action.
Right there. Good trick, you know, mobile cover right there. Divine's gonna open up. He's gonna catch Grips throwing. No! Well, 3-9, but Clutcher also 1-6. These two are having a really rough map, and Divine is gonna make this one even rougher from the Noetic side as Crack's gonna go down. Divine possibly looking up for a third. Yes, Clutcher goes down. Noetic looking to close this out. Crack. This Crack will be looking for another one. It's gonna be on blue. Not much HP left on blue, but the quick headshot's gonna seal the deal. Oh, that man ain't secure. As Crack's gonna push on onto Scar. He's gonna get the shot as well, leaving it all down to Insta.
Literally a slither of HP. Almost nothing left on the man as Gravity is still looking for this flank in Library. And he's gonna actually find it on the Salvo. Okay, Gravity first kill on the round. And another one. Wow, how do you get that?
Was that a hip fire?
I don't know what it was, but it was definitely a kill for the Melusi there, and he's gonna get it.
That's Gravity and Sven going down. The Soul Heartbreaker removed from play. A quick refrag coming through as Atris able to find that Echo, able to find a second one through the floor. I'd to say that the shots from Chrome couldn't quite land with their target. Found a way to equalize the score in his team as him and Urosh are stuck in this position, but he's going to get caught out. He's going to be spotted out, and that's going to be the triple kill for Atris. Make that a quadra kill for Atris. He's able to find both the remaining players. A lovely little short peek. There, that's the first member going down. I believe that was actually from Living, but what a shot onto ends from Luke. Finding it right down deep on the corridor, finding a second on the window. Absolutely shutting down No Fear Gaming. Well, you still got the Heartbreach available. You still got that Jackal who can start to try and track down some members. And as I say that, the free-place Night Cell went off, but it was Luke with that P10 Roni. Rotate around a little bit. Should have held onto the bomb site, but Luke with the quadra kill, lining up for the ace maybe. He has one more to find. Slider who's trying to take the gunfight. It will be the ace going in favor of Luke.
The thin line that separates your shadows from my soul. As these walls begin to fall, head lost in the silence, cold stars illuminate the secrets on your tongue and the poison in my lungs.
Alright, welcome on back to the Talent League EU game here between Ruhrsports and Noetic. I am still Cherish, and still with me is Liero, and we are still getting nice and ready for this great game that we're going to get to see the conclusion of on Cafe. And is there anything you're looking forward to on Cafe here that maybe you missed out on, or you felt that we missed out on Oregon, or that rather you saw some on Oregon, or some of on Oregon, but want to see more of on Cafe?
I just want to see more of the same, to be honest. In terms of entertainment value, I think Oregon was crazy. I think it was insane, especially comparing to an Oregon match. Those are usually boring, but these
Yeah.
teams, especially Roar, they really played aggressively, and Noetic as well at times, but Roar really made sure that the map comes alive, especially on some of these attacking rounds, but also on defense. So I'm expecting the same from them, more or less, unless they try and adjust their gameplay for Noetic a little bit, as they should. I feel like they should tone it down a little bit. But then again, on Cafe, there's not as many opportunities to get picks from outside in the same way, right? Because you kind of have to go through the hatches, and that's your only way to jump in. So unless you're getting aggressive specifically on the hatches or you're spawn picking, it's not really the same tempo and dynamic in terms of how the map is played out. So I'm expecting Roar here to get aggressive. I think that's what's gonna work best for them. As long as they keep on getting these early picks, I feel like on Cafe it's gonna be even more impactful than on Oregon. So that's what I'm expecting from them. And for Noetic, they, if that's gonna keep working for Roar, they'll need to bring something else than they brought in Oregon, because historically, in Talent League at least, they've been struggling on Cafe way more than they are in Oregon. On Oregon, they usually dominate every other team, and on Cafe, they just struggle a little bit more, winning it out 7-5, 7-4. You know, usually closer score lines than on Oregon, where they're usually dominating. So I believe that this is a weaker map for them.
Yeah, I definitely
So
think
it sounds like we're gonna just jump in straight into the match. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I just want to see Noetic here try and adjust a little bit and create these perfect-ish executes on the site when they are on attack, and playing as they should on defense. I mean, they didn't really do anything crazy, but it worked for them in general. They just playing pretty textbook. They're just doing it really good.
Yeah, it was pretty sound on Oregon, and Noetic has been pretty sound so far yet this season. We'll get to see No Flores coming out here on Cafe, where, again, he does see a lot of strength, as we saw on Oregon. He ran all 15 rounds on Oregon. And we will get to see no play on Cafe, because similarly, Cafe is the same type of way, or played the same type of way that Oregon is. It's very shield heavy, it's very stall heavy, and it's very utility heavy. And that is the environment that Flores thrives in. He loves being that burn for his teammates, as well as just helping with that destruction and getting these defenders out of these tough to reach positions like bathroom behind a shield or the pixel position, both on the top floor. Just various positions that are just hard to reach normally for the attackers. Flores really invalidates because you either sit on a one-hit kill bomb that detonates in 2.5 seconds, or you run out and abandon that position. And while that is pretty short, you probably run into a gun site somewhere along the way. Also helping to deny a lot of this stall will be a Wamai ban, rather. It'll be denying the stall is the Wamai ban. The Flores helps to help with the stall, rather.
Wait, Cherish. One second here. Yes,
Yeah.
Flores is so strong with utility, but you know what you missed out? Thatcher is open.
Thatcher is
is
up.
in play here. I don't think I've ever seen a cafe with Thatcher being opened. Ever.
Well,
Maybe in ranked. Maybe in a gopher I played one. And even then it's a rare sight to see, because in ranked he's banned constantly, and even in mixed matchups like gophers, etc. So here in this match, if Roar is gonna be able to utilize the Thatcher being in play really well, it's gonna shift the entire map from being defender sided as it usually is to a bit more equal, actually way more equal, maybe even attacker sided, because it's so easy to breach walls and clear out utility with a Thatcher being open as long as you use it correctly. And you don't really need a huge brain to use it correctly. Not that I'm saying that Heyman is not smart or anything like that, but you don't need to be crazy good at the game while throwing your EMPs. There's a wall, you throw the EMP, you breach that wall. That's usually how that
10
works.
seconds remaining.
And the thing is that most teams just don't practice with Thatcher. So
5 seconds
if
left
they're not
before
going to be able to utilize it, it's because they just don't see it in scrims, and that's understandable. But now he's open, so they have to play it well with the Thatcher. And the team that is going to play well and they abuse Thatcher the most is going to dominate these attacks, and is probably going to dominate this match as well, because Thatcher changes the entire game right now.
yeah, with the departure from the very obnoxious, awful stall meta of the Jaeger Wamai over the past few months, we're not really found, or the defense hasn't really found a sound meta the same way that it has in the past. You know, we bounced from that very 3v3 meta where the defense would play aggressively, try and find certain picks in certain positions, and then we went to mute Mozzie, and then we went to the stall. We went to Jaeger Wamai.
Oh, no,
since
there's
then-
a rush coming in here,
is it?
right? Oh, no, wait.
They're in the
I'm
basement.
dumb.
They're first floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
This side is in the
They're just
basement.
clearing
It's
first
okay.
very quickly.
I'm a bit tired,
You
man.
freaked me out for us. You freaked me out there for a second. I was like, oh, he is
I was
jumping down
like-
Skylight.
I was like,
Oh, is it a
there's-
rush?
There's drones. People's jumping down.
But yeah, Thatcher in this like middle ground meta where there's been some mute play, some Wamai play, all of these different operators coming back into play, albeit not, consistently. Thatcher's been fantastic in helping to deal with them, so he is going to see some use finally here from Heyman as this main clear coming down, top down, is going to finally get to
what a
work.
great
and a
shot.
quick pick from Keto is going to start things off here.
Definitely a quick peek and a great shot towards the bounce stairs. He's gonna feel the pressure now from the garage area, as his shield is probably gonna be rid of
Bomb has been located.
pretty soon, as Thatcher EMP is gonna go out, and I don't see any nades that are being thrown out, as these attackers just peeking one by one. And Thatcher is gonna Heyman is gonna win out his gunfight onto Neko. He's gonna make sure that he's gonna finish it out with a body shot and a crack. He's gonna get another one for his team. Heyman, Metrics, and Fox. Scoreboard is blue right now. 3v1 situation for Clutcher on the Echo, and he won't be able to use his Echo drones. He needs to make sure that he's using his gun to win this one out. He's gonna look for one towards the freezer area, but there is no one there. He's gonna push up here. And he knows that these attackers, they don't have a lot of time. They have to push him. They have to go for this defuse for the planetary. and he's just gonna peek aggressively here. They don't know that he's sitting here in this corner and he's gonna be able to take Playday down and Thatcher down as well. One more situation for him right now is both of these players are down on the floor. He just needs to hide and he's gonna win on time! What?
Clutcher lives up to the name.
I was just about to say, man.
Yeah.
Lives up to his name. Wow, that was amazing. You could not have played that better.
Yeah. Clutcher got himself right into an awkward spot, right? Hidden away from Noetic, right under their noses. And with Fox being on 1 HP, as he's not loaded into the lobby apparently, with Fox living on just 1 HP, he was able to be quickly downed, which allowed which allowed Clutcher to focus up and find Heyman thereafter. It's a good play from the Echo all told, and really well done there to hide away in the end. But you also have to point out that that's kind of a misplay on the Zophia's part. She wasn't really in a position, as we've now lost Fox. Matrix wasn't really, or rather, sorry. You know, it was Matrix. Matrix wasn't really in a position to accurately hold and defend for Ruhrsports there. So they are in a 4v5 now, as Fox will be in the lobby sometime soon, hopefully.
Looks like we're gonna rehost.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we're gonna get a rehost here. I mean, that's okay, those things happen. But, I mean, we just get more time to talk about that amazing clutch. I think it was phenomenal. You just couldn't play it better than Clutcher played it. He just played it amazing. He didn't get a single kill, but he won the round in a 1v3 situation. That was just amazing. I didn't expect that to happen, to be honest. As you said, Matrix did misplay a little bit in terms of his positioning, right? He wasn't there in the right spot at the right time to trade for his teammates. But I mean, he went to look for the Echo. They knew the last player alive is the Echo, and that's what Zofia went for. She went for a mission to find that Echo because they were running out of time. They only had 10 or 12 seconds left to plant. So Zofia just pushed up and pushed around. She was looking for him. Maybe he's in a bakery, or maybe he's somewhere else. But she was just looking for the Echo, so he won't get to use those yokais, right? And that's a problem that Echo used to have when his yokais were invisible. Now it's less of a problem because it's easier to deny, and if he denies your planter, it's immediately way easier to just shoot the yokai drone. But still, Zofia went to look for Echo. It's not like she didn't play with his teammates, right? He went to play and help them out, help them plant. It just so happens that he wasn't in the right time in the right place at the right time when he needed to be there, and he just couldn't trade in time, and that meant that Clutcher was able to win the round, and that's just great game sense from him to know that that's his right time, right opportunity to crawl up towards the sink area and just hide there, and he was just hiding and waiting. And as soon as Thermite vaulted, he knew that that's his time. He got the first one, he shot the second one, he downed them both, and then he just hit. I mean, what more can you ask of him to? That was just amazing. I don't know how to describe it. He played it perfectly.
Yeah, that was fantastically played there by the Echo, and I'm really glad we got to see that because, man, that was just so nice to see. Looking forward, we did get to see that Reading Fireplace should be the next site that will be picked by Noetic. Hopefully they stick to it. And this is something that we've seen coming around more in recent months, is that teams are going from the old way of top down and they're going bottom up in terms of their defensive rotations. They'll go, rather than going top down isn't the right way to say it. They would go Reading Fireplace last, start Bar Cocktail. Kitchen is the second site, obviously, then. But now teams are flexing between that style as well as starting kitchen, going up kitchen, reading bar cocktail, because a lot of teams have figured out bar cocktail isn't as awful to attack as it would seem. You don't have to kind of suicide push into the pixel corner for the same 2 minutes like you used to before. You can handle it very differently, and it's been working out for a lot of teams as a result of that. And just different adaptations, different operators, that sort of whole big deal song and dance that we get to see as Ruhrsports is actually going to be, or rather we're loaded in, as there's a little swap I noticed. Heyman going on to Thermite as Fox should be taking the Thatcher here. The two of them are going to swap off for each other. And yeah, we will be sticking to a reading fireplace defense.
I mean, it's definitely not as viable to hold pixel as it used to be, because people figured out a little bit better how to clear it out, but it's still hard. But now with the Thatcher being on the board as well as the Capitao, and I mean, he's usually on the board and teams just don't utilize him as well since Wamai got released. So teams just started practicing less since Wamai was, in play, and those magnets were just really effective at denying the Capitao bolts. And now when he's not in play, when he's banned, for example, the adaptation is usually not coming in immediately because they're not used to it. Capitao is not the easiest operator to play, so the team needs to be kind of used to it. They need to practice it a little bit before they pull it out, usually before they feel comfortable. That's how most teams are. But I mean, Thatcher is completely different. He's a different beast, because with him you can clear out pixel and you can clear everything else and reach any wall that you want. It's like a point and click adventure with Thatcher, honestly. And if you have Thatcher and Ace on the board as well, just that combination is just so deadly, because Ace is so fast with the way he's breaching the walls. Again, it's just a point and click adventure. So Heyman is going to make it a little bit harder for his team. He's going to take the Thermite here. He's going to opt into the Thermite here. And as I say that, Matrix is he's gonna take out Clutcher here on the opening frag, and he's gonna lose a lot of HP for that. But he's gonna trade a gas canister and Clutcher, who single-handedly won the previous round. So not a bad trade for him at all. A good opening kill to start off this round on reading attack.
Yeah, plus that is a Nitro off the board that Clutcher would obviously have had before. That is also a big thing about this type of defense, especially the one that Noetic will be opting into. You have 3 Nitros normally on the board in that Melusi, Pulse, and the Kaid. The Kaid going down is going to drop one of those Nitros off the board. Matrix also will be going down, as Heyman is punished right now. But Risky finds Keto, I'm not exactly sure where. Trades on trades on trades. Scoreboard lights up blue once again, and this time there's no clutch here for Noetic to be found. It is a sound round here for the side of Ruhrsports, as it was just Skies left on his lonesome in that 1-on-3. There's so many kills that I'm not even really sure what happened. I saw someone ran out of library door, got a kill, and then I think either got naded or got refragged immediately. Someone else got naded. So there was a lot of chaos going on in that round. Still trying to process that one.
Yeah, there were definitely a bit of trades back and forth in the beginning of the round, and then right in the beginning of that execute. But then Ruhrsports, for the second time in a row already, their executes are so clean in terms of the way they're refragging, and they just get to this point in the 3v3 usually, but they just get 2 in a row, and they put themselves in that 3v1, and this time around Risky was able to also close it out, and they made sure that there's no clutch coming in from Noetic. Maybe it's Matrix actually that made sure of that, because he killed Clutcher in the beginning of the round. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that Vor is playing really good towards the execute. They're executing really well in terms of the way they're fragging. They're playing off each other, and they're pushing at the same time. And it looks like Noetic doesn't have a really good answer for now. So we're going to see what they're going to do with this. They're going to go back to reading, I believe, and they're gonna invest a lot on this top floor area that Roar is gonna possibly just choose to ignore completely.
Yeah, it is been a very good execute job from Rory. You're completely right, and I'm glad you hit on that, because I definitely wouldn't have. But, I mean, and realistically...
come on, man. You would. That's,
Well, maybe.
that's so
I just-
obvious. Come on.
Yeah, it is pretty obvious. I don't know, I miss out on, like, really obvious things, and I always find, like, really unnecessary niche, small, little tidbits, but seriously, though,
That's also important.
getting back to this round, Noetic has actually opted back for Breathing Fireplace, so they really want to avoid Bar Cocktail as much as possible. As I've noticed here, they are not too fond of that site, and I guess they're not too fond of how Ruhr would probably end up attacking it and making it work out. So, there's not much noise being made around this map yet, as it's mostly been Ruhr just clearing stuff out, getting some drone work in, giving Crack apparently a couple free points as he's killed 2 drones off here. That's 4 total for Ruhr missing. But already, Fox should be getting in some good pressure here. They'll get one of these Thatcher grenades, hopefully, thrown at some point, while the rest of his team gets into position eventually.
Why did you
Never
do that?
mind.
When you
He's
do
just
that?
gonna, yeah, he's just gonna use his gun instead.
I mean, there's still another defender in the top floor there, and I'm sure they know it. But maybe they don't care as much right now. Or did he already drop? Yes, he did. So they have the full top control. So that's 5 players or 4 players on the top floor here, and 50 seconds to work with. I mean, they have to play here fast. They have the map control that they need. Now they need to think about execute here. How are you doing this? Because you have to clear out a pillar area here first, as Neko is going to be the first one to contact you. He's going to be holding that pillar, and you're not... What? You don't know he's there, and you're killing him somehow? Hello? And then you're getting this one as well? That's a double kill for Matrix. Insane shots from him, as Noetic is trying to answer back, but it looks like they aren't able to.
15 seconds to go.
As Pinto is gonna get one, and it's gonna get traded by the Arvuni, as Kito is gonna be in this 1v3 situation right now. He's gonna try to put some shots on the train area player, but it won't be enough to get the kill. Pinto is just gonna hold this crazy angle from the top down. I mean, it's gonna be a hard one to win, but it's definitely possible. Pinto is just gonna hold this vertical angle, and I mean, he's gonna jump down on him. They know that he basically doesn't have time to win the gunfights, and also go for the defuse at the same time. So I think we can give this round out to Roar. I mean, that's very well played again on the execute. They're just winning those out, the gunfights, when it comes down to the execute, and that's just beautiful to watch. Especially the way that Matrix is just winning these gunfights. I don't know if you saw that, but he really didn't know that Mute is there. Mute was able to get some back shots, and then Matrix just completely 180'd him, and then also killed the player in mining. So insane play from Matrix, to be honest. Well played from him, and great execute overall. Fast plant, and if Roar is gonna keep it up, they're already dominating 3 rounds in a row, and one of them they got clutched on, but not anymore. So if they're gonna keep it up, they're gonna really make it one-sided on the attack this time, and I don't think that's even because of Thatcher. I think that's just because the Roar is winning all of their gunfights.
Attackers need to locate and
Yeah.
defuse bombs.
It is looking pretty good as we'll head down to Kitchen once again. Hopefully, Ruhr can keep swinging this one in their favor more and more, winning out gunfights on gunfights. Still?
Hopefully for who?
Yeah. Who knows? I think that is true. I didn't mean that. Okay. That sounded like I had some bias.
I'm just joking, man.
I know. It sounded like I had some bias. I don't. It's just nice to see, Oh, I didn't
5
notice.
seconds remaining.
It's nice to see the team on the Valkyrie with impact. Yeah, it's nice to see the side who has the disadvantage to win out rounds, right? Like
Yeah.
when you see the attacking team on Oregon or on Cafe winning rounds, that's how it is in Siege. It's usually the attacking team that is in disadvantage. And as I say, that Matrix is gonna get shot here from a spawn peak. I don't think he's even sure where from, but he's gonna peek towards a double door here. It looks like there's a player in coat, and Clutcher is gonna try to maybe get an opening for his team. I don't know if that's advised on the Echo, as Matrix almost took off your head. But anyway, as I was saying, it's always nice to see the team that is, sorry, the side that's in the disadvantage and the inferior side, usually the attack, winning out some rounds. So that's what we're seeing here, as Nako is gonna get one towards Pinto here, aggressively peeking on the garage door, and I'm sure that Pinto was expecting that one, but just wasn't expecting that angle in that exact time, because it didn't seem like he was holding that specific angle. So Melusi's gonna make it an opening kill for his team, and Noetic is finally looking like they're in the driver's seat a little bit.
Yeah, they're up 5-on-4 on man count here, and they're in their pretty sound positions that they had last time around. Risky's come on down now that Pinto lost out on his nades thanks to his death to help clear this VIP shield that Keto was on. As now Keto is going to eventually get that drone kill, thankfully. There was no peek from the front side from Matrix, instantly enough to take down Keto.
How does he hit all of these nasty shots and then missing all of these drones?
Yeah.
And Matrix,
Very true.
same. How do you
Same thing,
hit,
like...
how do you hit those 180s and then you miss that? I don't know. I guess Keto just moved like a tarantula in front of his face, and he's like, "Oh, what is that spider doing there? I can't hit that." Yeah, and just hitting all of those legs and arms and all of that. They just siege online for you sometimes. Anyway, as we were talking about this, 40 seconds on the clock here, and looks like the attack is moving forward towards VIP area. Keto, he's gonna be taken down here, and the attackers are gonna push up. Diffuser is gonna be down on the floor. Nature is gonna pressure here towards the coat area. Is Nako, he's with a double kill here. Crack is gonna help him out. He's gonna get another kill with SMG11, and Nako is gonna finish it out for his team. Great shots on the brown stairs, shutting down the attackers completely.
Yeah, once again, this kitchen defense is just not able to be taken or beaten at all by the side of Ruhrsports, and it looks very solid for Noetic. They'll be heading upstairs now, all the way to Bar Cocktail, which is not a sight we've got yet to see in these 5 rounds, but it will be coming in on this 5th one here.
You should do radio, man.
What?
You should do a podcast, or maybe go on a radio or something.
Bro,
Just the way you were using your voice just now.
Yeah.
really sounded like.
Okay.
That's a
I did
compliment. That's a compliment.
Okay, I appreciate it. I did get a weird voice all of a sudden. I did notice that because I was in the middle of fixing my headset, my hair. But that being said, we will be right up to the top of the map here, something that we haven't seen yet, like I was saying before all that. And there's been no changes on the side of Ruhrsports, which is interesting because I think that a Hibana or an Ace would do well on this site, as they have in the past. It is very favored for those two, just because you could very comfortably handle the piano wall from afar rather than have to sprint through the no man's land that is Pixel, in front of bathroom, in front of the trash wall, just to get that bathroom or that freezer wall open for the thermite. So I'm interested to see how Ruhrsports is going to want to work with Heyman here to try and get that wall open
has been
up. But
located.
first, before all that happens, they'll have to deal with this shield. And once again, before the mark hits round, Pinto has been taken on down. I think by Nate.
Yeah, he's gonna be the opening death by the same opening fragger, as Risky's gonna keep contesting the pixel area here on this actually risky angle on the piano window. So that's gonna be a rough start for Roar. They already lost their nades. They still have Thatcher on the board. They still have Thermite. But then again, you have to wonder. Oh no! What a great shot towards the. How do most teams call that? Oh no, Clutcher. Okay, so they're just gonna win all of these gunfights outside the building. Nito is gonna get another one, and yeah, they're just gonna finish it out like that. A flawless round for Noetic, and they're gonna really answer back right now. They're gonna actually lead 3-2, I believe.
Yeah, 3-2 lead as Keto had some great shots. I believe you were talking over towards like the mini bar. I know it's ticket window.
Oh yeah,
and
the mini bar. Yeah.
Those were some nasty shots looking over
That
there.
was insane, definitely. The thing is that you usually don't want to peek those windows as aggressively, because when you're repelling there, it's just so predictable where your head's at. So what you usually see higher level teams do, they usually don't really hold that aggressively. Most players just use it as as
Defenders, protect your bombs
kind
from
of
being
places
defended
to
by
throw
attackers.
your utility through. So they're just gonna throw their flashes through the window, and then when the utility is exploded, when it's shot down, when the shield is not there anymore, they're gonna go back to the roof and they're gonna drop down the hatch. That's what most players prefer to do. But Roar, in this case, again, they're playing really aggressively, even on attack here. And sometimes it works for them, and sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, for playing on the windows, just didn't work out for them. Keto definitely punished them for that one, and Nako as well, consistently getting that opening frag onto Pinto. So Roar needs to change up the pace a little bit here. They need to be a little bit less predictable. They need to maybe bait Noetic a little bit here. Provide them with the same medicine that they got dealt with beforehand on Oregon when they got too aggressive. So they need to find here a different tempo to play with. They can't be doing the same things over and over again and expecting it to work, because I mean, you see Nako is already waiting for that C4. They're expecting Roar to go through this pattern, and I think it's gonna. Oh no. Okay, that was really, really close, and it was shot mid-air. So that's really, really lucky. I don't know who shot that, but congrats. Apparently you're the next Bolo, and you saved your team a huge headache right now, because that sledge would have been down on the floor again. That's not an ace for you, and that's Pinto dying.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no, as I was saying that. Come on, Pinto. That's just your destiny at this point. Just maybe log off.
3 in a row for Pinto now, as he's struggling to find his way into the map to begin with.
Man, that's not even into the map. He's just struggling in general to look at anything.
I don't think.
Oh,
my
no.
God. That was a nice shot from both Risky and Crack as they trade, but Skies with his second on the box. Things are looking rough, as now Ruhrsports is just once again not able to deal with the aggression from Noetic. Nakwo! Nakwo stole the kill from Skies.
Oh no.
As
You don't want to
Skies
score like
let
that,
him
guys.
know. Alright, Clutcher's on less than half. Skies is just over half. Same as
Imagine
Matrix,
if he
though, it's
clutches
less
this,
than
bro.
half. This is... Okay.
You
It's a
don't
one-on-two.
want to toy with Matrix like that. You saw the way he can hit his shots sometimes. I mean, that guy can be insane and he can hit crazy shots. So you don't want to mess with him there. I mean, they're gonna take these 1v1s right now. They're gonna try and peek towards him on the pillar area here, and he can definitely isolate these gunfights. I don't know if he's gonna be able to hit any of those though, and he won't be able to escape. Clutcher is gonna finish it out for his team, and they're gonna make it a 4-2 split for the defense here. Noetic is leading by a lot actually, because they were down 0-2 in the beginning of this match. The beginning of this map, sorry.
Yeah, it is very good job from Noetic. They've won 3 in a row now here on the defensive cafe to send us to 4-2. Well, it looked a little iffy at times. They completely changed, like you said, they completely changed around how they looked from the beginning of this half. This first 3 rounds, they just looked very sloppy. They looked completely out of it. And then these last 3 rounds, everyone was back to their old selves. Everyone was peeking everything. Every angle was contested. And as you could see, it ends with 3 or 4 bodies left alive round. Now that they're on the attack...
Yeah, it just looks like all of them are just landing all of their shots. That's all I wanted to say. You go on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah, no, they're all hitting shots, and it's looking good. But yeah, I mean, now that, once again, like we mentioned on Oregon, you're on the attack now. You can't, you have to play aggressively and move forward, but you can't play off these angles, and you can't hold little cheeky spots, do quick peeks as easily, that sort of stuff. But we're seeing an interesting setup here from Ruhrsports. They're going to be holding with the Valkyrie downstairs. They're going to be playing aggressively down here with the Nitro cells as well. Just trying to be as much of nuisances as possible towards Noetic. And this is something that Noetic kind of struggled with, was that similar type of aggression that Ruhrsports showed, and just being able to be aggressive and play off the site with Nitro cells specifically. So we'll get to see if that works out here again for Ruhrsports on a different map, as there's no shields present here for Risky whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shield on Pixel there, but there's still that Pixel area that you can peek towards. It's still really hard to kill the player there, even when he doesn't have that shield. The shield is usually actually a distraction because not a lot of players actually peek on the shield, right? Because it's very predictable to know where your head is gonna end up. Oh no, Keto is gonna actually. Speaking about heads, right? These heads are just gonna get popped by Clutcher and Keto back and forth here as the Melusi is gonna trade back here towards Clutcher. Clutcher is gonna go down. That's your only hard breach, but I mean, maybe that doesn't mean much because Keto is gonna hit shots like that, and he's gonna be already deep onto the side as he's already in the cocktail area. Heyman is gonna trade back, and he's gonna make sure that Sledge is dead as well, and he's gonna get another one onto Crack here. Heyman is really holding the site as Neko is gonna try and get these shots towards the defenders on the top wide area, but he won't be able to land onto Goyo. Triple kill for Goyo now, and he needs to make it a 4K to win this one out. Skies, he's gonna look for him slowly. He knows approximately where he's at, and he's very low on HP, so he needs to watch out here, but it wouldn't matter because Skies will hit that headshot anyway with that G8. Wallbang or no wallbang, or low HP or not, he's gonna kill you. And that was a crazy round. A lot of gunfights there, and Noetic was just able to win this one out just by pure gunfights, to be honest. They didn't really get rid of any utility that I noticed of. They just pushed onto the side and they just killed everyone.
Yeah, that just looked super solid, super clean from Noetic, and they didn't even really break a sweat, it felt like. It's just a very comfortable attack, and they just played to their strengths once again, that peaking mentality and the quick movement mentality that they've had this whole time. So, that being said, we'll be seeing Bar Cocktail yet again, as already Keto is at 9 frags through 7 rounds here, so averaging over a kill a round. No one else is even close to that. Well, Nakwo is at a kill a round, but other than that, I mean, the rest of the lobby isn't too close, but some of them aren't too far behind. Risky and Matrix are both at 5 kills apiece, but for the side of Noetic, I mean, Keto and Naquo have just been on point on their peaks here. They've been looking very comfortable and very solid, and it's showing in these rounds because Noetic is now 3 rounds up on top of Ruhr here. Not looking like they're going to be stopping this train.
Yeah, definitely, and it's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because what I noticed is that if you look at the first map and this map as well, it looks like no player on either team is not pulling his weight, right? All of these players are hitting a lot of shots, they're getting a lot of kills, and it constantly feels like anyone can kill anyone at this point. It doesn't feel like any one player is completely dominating. It always feels like one of the support players can kill the fragger in the beginning of the round, and that's usually what happens here. But still, Noetic is on Cafe, at least until now, dominating a little bit more, especially off Keto here and Nako, that are really doing most of the work and are hitting a lot of crazy shots. But still, Roar, we've seen them do it before in Oregon. They won 3 in a row before. I mean, they can definitely win 3 in a row again and make it a 5-5 score line, and with a bit more flexibility now. You know, if they try and pull it back right now, make sure that they don't let it slip towards match point, maybe they can even win this map without overtime if they don't let this round slip away. And as I said, Risky is gonna get the first kill of the round. Keto is gonna answer back with a nade onto Pinto here, and the defenders are gonna get really aggressive. Oh, Risky, he's gonna take down Skies as well, as the ace is gonna push up towards the pixel area, and he's gonna take down Risky too. So Risky is gonna be down on the floor here, and Fox will need to figure it out if he can pick him up or not.
Yeah, 3-on-3 now as Risky is confirmed. Already Noetic getting pretty aggressive, and Heyman is gonna go down. Gunfight. Whoa, but just left on a sliver is Matrix. Fox is also tagged a little bit, but a quick peek will end the life of Keto. It's just up to Clutcher to do just that. He has to be just as clutch as he was in that first round. Matrix gonna make some noise so that he can fall back a little bit and keep across with Fox here. This is just exactly how these two need to play this round, but not like that, Matrix. You can't be peeking like that. Now, pushing forward, Fox has to hold into a different position, and he's just gonna barely win out of Clutcher. Not able to track the moving Valkyrie. A 3rd round on the board now for Ruhrsports as they are able to convert their opening pick. Their first in 4 rounds here. And they will cut down the lead rather to 3-5.
I mean, that was a little bit too close there, and I was a little bit scared for them, to be honest, because if Clutcher clutches this again, it's not only match point, it's also the mentality is just gonna crush you, in my opinion, at that point, because you feel like no round is safe anymore. I mean, if he can clutch on defense and attack as well, it's just gonna be really scary from now on. But fortunately for Roar, that didn't happen, and Fox was able to run away with his life and get the kill onto Clutcher there. But that gunfight was very close, and in general, the entire engagement was really close. So Roar will need to, in my opinion, they still need to see how they change up what they're doing here a little bit, because Noetic is definitely a step ahead here in terms of tempo, and they're reading Roar a little bit better than Roar is reading them. So they're gonna change and go to a different side here, and maybe that's what they need. I don't know. I don't know if they're too aggressive. I don't know if they're too passive right now. To be honest, it just looks like Noetic is just winning a lot of gunfights generally, and when Roar is able to deny that, that's when they win the rounds. Otherwise, I don't know what to say, because it's just up to the gunfights at this point. Mostly, because these teams, they don't get rid of you too much utility or anything like that. They just peek the side, they push onto the side really aggressively. Risky is already down on the floor. I believe that was a spawn pick. I mean, someone is gonna pick him up. There is no way that he's gonna bleed out. I'm not too sure where he's at. Oh yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah, that was.
He might have just been shot through the door.
I think it was a spawn peek on the double door. No. Oh, okay. He was just shot through the
Ooh.
door. Okay, that's unfortunate. I mean, that just happens sometimes, right? Everything is almost everything is wallable and wall bangable in Siege, and when you stand in front of barricades, sometimes you just go down on the floor like that, and sometimes you don't even go down, you just die. So Keto is gonna do quick work off the floor here towards kitchen, as the attackers, they already have full third control and second control here of the map, as they're gonna already do vertical control here, and they still have half the timer to work with here. So 1:30 on the board here on the clock, and C4 is gonna go out. It's not gonna connect, not even close actually. It was just, I guess, no information as it looks like, as Crack is gonna start throwing down these EMPs, and the defenders are definitely gonna feel this pressure on the side, and pressure they will feel as Fox is gonna push out towards the white area stairs and will peek skies and will take him down as he runs away.
Yeah. Quick hit and run tactics from Ruhrsports yet again. The plays that were working out for them last map are working out yet again, hopefully, as Pinto will die once more. 8 out of 9 rounds. Rough to see. That'll be Keto's 11th this game so far, the only player on double digits out of both teams as we near the final minute. Fox is going to find his second, but it's evened out very quickly by Naquo. Fox trying to find more as Naquo finds a second. Fox will find his third, though. It's just Matrix and Heyman, or rather, sorry, Matrix first. Sorry. But it is just those two against Keto and Clutcher. Now just Clutcher, as the false retake is coming in from Ruhr. Clutcher's found one head. He just has to find the other in 15 seconds, but playing behind the shield. Heyman will burn. They are on equal HP. A single bullet from either player will outdo the other. Heyman can't go through the rotate, but he will spray down through the wall. And that'll be it on that round. Ruhrsports will take their second in a row here and send us 5-4 on the scoreline.
Man, how are these 2v1s, 3v1s against Clutcher are always so close? This is so scary to watch. Like, you have to feel bad a little bit for Roar, just because, I mean, you know, it's just scary for them at this point when they know that the ace is alive and he's just able to win a lot of gunfights when he's in these clutch scenarios. So it's just definitely strange how they're letting him. They're actually picking him one by one, but it's also strange how much he's winning that. Like, he's winning a lot of these gunfights, a lot of these 1v1s when he's in the clutch 1v2 1v3 scenario. So it already happened once and it could happen again. So the board, they need to watch out. They need to watch out with Clutcher here, just, you know, trying to make these plays when he's the last man standing.
Yeah. Definitely need to help Clutcher out a bit more. It's a tough plant spot for Clutcher as well in that round to make work that he went for. Granted, he did have 10 seconds, and 7 of those you have to sit and stick that plant if he would.
Oh, he could have definitely stuck that. He could have stuck it,
Yeah.
but you don't know, right? We know that. He just didn't know. He didn't have the needed information for that. So they're just gonna a risk that you're going for anyway, whether you're peeking or you're planting. Because if you're planting, for all you know, I mean, with siege sound, this guy is already behind you and he's shooting you in the back. So that's just how it is. You have to make the decision. You have to be decisive when you try to win rounds like that. And he was decisive. It's just that he gambled wrong this time around, and he didn't win it out. And next time around, maybe he will. But enough about that. We're gonna be attacking onto reading this time, and I think this is the first time that Noetic is attacking reading. Or am I wrong here? I think it is the
you are
first
right.
time.
This is the first reading attack for Noetic.
Yeah, so Right now, if they win this one, they're gonna go into match point. And Noetic is considered one of the weaker sides usually. I mean, in my opinion, that's arguable because you
Yeah.
still have the top floor to work with when you're defending, and that's really, really strong to hold on to that pixel area and the top floor in general, the cocktail and all of that. And Risky, he's gonna get the opening frag for the round. This guy's gonna trade back onto Risky here, and he's gonna take mining control here for his team. So halftime on the clock here, the attackers already have mining control, but the ace is actually dead. So they will need to do something crazy here like they usually do and just push onto the side. Minto is gonna get one, Neko is gonna trade back as it's just a back and forth right now, 3v3 situation right now. Halftime on the clock, Zofia is gonna repel into Piano, and it looks like that she's gonna just look for some peaks here on the top floor as the rest of the attackers are gonna push below.
Yep, looks like there's going to be some control from the Zofia, like you said, with a horizontal take from Crack and Skies, I assume. It's just Matrix against Naquo up top, while Fox and Pinto are holding more passive positions downstairs. Naquo is holding up top pretty stoutly, as he's just holding his own at this point, trying to stall out as much time and keep Matrix's attention as much on him as he can. Skies will be the one to walk first through Pinto and win his gunfight somehow, taking the head off the mute right off the bat. It just puts Fox and Matrix on their own with 25 seconds to go. Matrix is trying to get a big flank coming on in here, as Naquo is going to be cutting off Fox from below. Fox has no clue until Naquo's right by his side. Another headshot for the Zofia as he tallies one more up. Crack is going to be down as Skies is getting the plant. That plant will be confirmed, but 7 seconds to go. That post-plant moment comes in. 1 versus 2 for Matrix, as it was a 1 versus 3. He will now slowly move in on Fireplace Hall. Noetic is trying to confirm at least OT once more here themselves and trying to send themselves hopefully to a quick end. But Matrix might have something to say about that. He's trying a quick peek, but with 20 seconds to go, you can't be quick peeking. You have to make quick plays. There's part 1 of that quick play. He's found Skies, but that will do it for this round. Matrix can't find the diffuser in time. He can't find Naquo. Great post plan and a slow reaction from Matrix will end up with Naquo not finding the kill. Ruhrsports not finding the round either, though.
Yeah, he won't find a kill, but he will find a round at the end of the day. He played it well. He played it as he should. He was just hiding in laundry, and he knew that Matrix wouldn't have enough time to defuse, right? So all he needed to do there is just hide. He didn't even need that frag. I mean, that would just be for stat padding at that point. That was a 1 round either way. I mean, nice try from Matrix there, but it didn't look like it would be enough throughout any point, to be honest, in that entire clutch, because it was just so far away from the diffuser most of the time. But Noetic, they're on match point right now, as you said before, and I mean, the way they're playing right now, really dominating on the attack like this, it's gonna be rough for Roar, because Roar is just not expecting consistently these pushes onto the side. It just looks like Noetic is somehow in Roar's faces, especially those anchors. They're just up in their faces, pushing onto the side, peeking, winning the gunfights, then putting the plan down, or just holding the side for themselves and then holding it for retake, just like as if they are on defense, right? So Roar has to adapt to this. They have to expect, first of all, the pushes onto site here. That's for sure. Maybe more Banshees, more wire towards the site area and the doorways would help here, but it's ultimately expecting and winning these gunfights.
Yep. And that's been something that Noetic has been doing very well for themselves. Rather that, not to say that Ruhrsports hasn't been expecting these gunfights, but Noetic has just been very on top of their fights. They know when to take them, what fights to take. and how to properly take them. I don't think really there's been any isolated one-on-one fights like we saw on Oregon so much as as we've seen Ruhrsports trying to force. Ruhrsports really wants these 1v1s, and Noetic always has, especially in the last couple of rounds, they've always had someone at the back of their teammate whenever it was needed. And whenever one of those opening kills came down in these last 2 rounds, another kill followed. Naqua's going to finally start off the first opener here for Noetic in 3 rounds, or rather 4 rounds, as Fox will also fall. It's just Risky, Pinto, and Heyman on their own as a nice shot comes in from Risky to take the head clean off of Naquo. The heavy hitter for Noetic is taken down, but a minute 40 remains, and the round is soundly in Noetic's favor.
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Yeah, definitely. Pinto is gonna answer back here as well, and he's gonna basically state that they're not going down this easily, and they know that this is match point, so they need to make this work somehow. Sky is gonna spray towards the pixel shield there, but nothing will connect. Esquido is gonna push up, and he will be able to get the frag onto the Arvuni here. 3v2 situation for Noetic right now, making it a 3v1, as it's all up to Risky. He's gonna be able to get one. I don't know if he will be able to get the second one. He's gonna lit him up really bad though, and both of these attackers are in really low HP. If anyone can make it happen right now, it's Risky with a lot of frags on the board and a lot of confidence. He's below though, and Plant is going down in Cocktail. So Sledge is gonna hold down this white stairs area. He knows that's where he's coming from, and he's gonna be able to get this final frag with a headshot, wallbang through the wall towards the white stairs area. Great shots from him and great game sense expecting that. And a comfortable 7-4 win for Noetic. I mean, well played by them.
Yeah. Great job from Noetic here as they will take the series. 2 wins for themselves here, 8-7, 7-4. Definitely one of the harder series that they've had yet this season. So we'll get to see, and we'll probably eventually get to pick the brains of someone sometime around here in the future, or in a little bit. But
In the foreseeable future, hopefully.
yeah, in a couple minutes, I'm sure someone will be in here from the side of Noetic, as that's become kind of a norm over the past couple of seasons. This season and last especially, that we always end up talking to one of the Noetic guys, but it's always nice to pick their brain, and I'm interested to talk about, because this wasn't by any means, I think we saw, this wasn't a close match, or a blowout match rather, by any means. This was a very close match, is what I meant to say. So I'll be very interested to see how it's going to, or rather how they were feeling about this, but I always feel like whenever I ask people that, like, I'm like, oh, we felt this was a close match. What were you guys thinking? And then they're always like, we never were sweating at a moment. Like, there was never any stress or anything. Like, we always knew we were going to win. And it's like, okay. Sorry, all right, then. Thanks for that, I guess.
Thanks for the interview, man.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not
I mean-
asking, like, I'm not sitting there trying to, like, beg for a response, but also just like, that's it. You're telling me that in an 8-7 game, there was not a single point where you were stressed out? I don't buy it.
I mean, as a competitor, you kind of have to believe that you're gonna win no matter what, but
Yeah.
just sometimes you just don't. I mean, especially when you're in disadvantage. Let's say they're leading 6-2 or 6-3 or whatever, and they're on match point, and you're not feeling confident. You're losing a lot of your gunfights, etc. And just not you don't believe in your teammates, and those are usually the points where you just don't believe as much. But I mean, as a competitor, usually, especially at this level and higher, I mean, this is pretty high level of siege, and higher than this level and higher, people really believe that they're gonna win anything. So I I mean, I can kind of buy it. I mean, 8-7, that game on Oregon, no. If they say about that game on Oregon that they felt
Yeah.
like they're gonna win no matter what, I mean, at that point, I don't know, because man, you know that you have to play it really well in that 7-7 situation in Oregon there to close it out, and they played it well. They played it flawlessly. Actually, the very last round, it was very very well played by them. but still you have to feel that slight, at least a little bit of pressure there, coming into that round. Um, and you have to wonder, right? You're always wondering, oh, how can we lose this? How could we lose this? What should we do to in order to not lose this last round? What's the proper adaptation? I mean, especially for the players who are leading the team, or the single player who's leading the team usually. For the IGL, it's really rough because he will usually need to make the call, especially if they're attacking. And Noetic was attacking that last round, so he needs to make the right call. Um, and it's very crucial because there's no room for mistakes there, right? So um, perhaps the fraggers, if we're bringing in a fragger here, maybe we're gonna bring in Skies for an interview. Maybe he's gonna say that he didn't feel the pressure as much. But I mean, that's because you're just running around and shooting, and someone else is doing the thinking for you, is telling you where to go, right? So it's really depends. It really depends who you're asking as well.
Yep. As we'll get to see, as I believe we're gonna take a no, we're not. We're so yeah, looking back at this one, let me pull up my notes again that I did accidentally close. Um that'll push Noetic to 4-0, while Ruhrsports will be falling to 1-1. Pretty weird how that works out, but still, I think in the end of the day, this is potentially not necessarily a finals matchup, but this is like a middle part of playoffs matchup that I would
Preview,
anticipate. Yeah, this
preview,
is this is
a little
definitely a
taste.
preview of like somewhere in the playoffs is really what it is. But this was a good matchup between these two teams. Ruhrsports gave Noetic the hardest run that they've had yet this season. They have not been taken as far as by any team yet this season. So I think that does really well. It shows up really well for Rare Sports. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they play out the rest of the season, as well as getting to see how Noetic is going to finish out the season, and if they're going to be finishing up undefeated or not, because that would be interesting to see given the relative strength of this league. But we will actually not be having an interview, which is sad to say, because I want to talk to one of them. But with that being said, for myself, I have to thank Manic, right? Yele? Wolves? Howling
We have to
Media.
thank Howling
Howling
Media.
Media. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Howling Media, for sponsoring Talent League. As as an American, bro, I don't have to deal with like thick accents. So, Yele talking to me in my ear, whispering, is like really throwing me off with what I have to say because I can't understand him and I'm trying really hard. And I love Yele. We'd like to thank Howling Media for sponsoring season 5 of Talent League EU. So big shout out to them and much appreciated to them for that one. And for Yele, we would like to appreciate him as well for running everything behind the scenes. And I was gonna sign off for you, but this has been so long. Do you have any closing remarks, Liero?
I mean, not really. It was really enjoyable game to watch, and hopefully we're gonna have more games like that. And that's it. It was just a fun little game tonight, and we'll be back for more. So
Yeah.
not today though, not today,
Not today,
but tomorrow.
thankfully.
But tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we're gonna sign off for today. But thank you everyone for watching the game, and hopefully next time we're gonna get an interview. It just didn't happen this time around.
Yep.
Howling Media.
Yes. So that being said, from Liero and myself, we'd like to thank you guys for watching tonight, and tune in tomorrow, same time, same place here on Talent League Twitch for Ruhrsports yet again. This time playing up against that'll be you and one of the other new guys. So I hope you have fun on that one. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and everyone have a good night.